Hello folks, Scott with Dallas Paint Correction and Auto Detailing. If you just made it through my video about when to use an all-in-one, how to use an all-in-one, and my little trick of 1.5 step paint correction, might have been silly, but it works. It works wonders, makes me relevant, more customers call me. Just hopefully that made sense to you. I wanted to help some of you professional detailers out with making yourself available to more people. I want to talk about a product that I'm in love with. I'm actually in love with both of these products. This is Meguiar's Synthetic Express Spray Wax. Well, I'm about ready to make a statement on YouTube as a professional detailer who is mobile, working in the direct sunlight. Both products work exceptionally well in direct sunlight. Excuse me. But after using Griots, this happens to be their, man, I'm dropping everything, Griot's Garage Best of Show Detailer. What this is they have specially blended sophisticated waxes. I have no idea what that means. I guess their waxes are more sophisticated than somebody else's. I'm just making a joke. And they also say they have polymers in it. What's really interesting is they said this has an incredible, it flashes fast, so it's incredibly appropriate in direct sunlight. Let me tell you something, folks. This stuff outperforms. It hedges, pushes away Meguiar's. Hate to say it, but guys, this stuff is incredible, works incredibly well. It smells like bubblegum or cotton candy, if that makes your world. It comes in 22 ounces. Yes, I buy it by the gallon, but I also like this 22-ounce bottle. You want to know why? It's small. It's compact. I like the spray head versus a 32-ounce bottle, dedicated Meguiar's bottle. Just a little side note there. I kind of like the labeling, the packaging of this bottle. It's kind of sexy, feels good in the hands. I don't need a lot when I'm using it as a waxing a vehicle or a final inspection spray. I'm working in direct sunlight. This stuff works incredibly well. It works a little bit better than Meguiar's synthetic spray wax. Not going to make or break your world if you're an enthusiast, but if you're a professional, I think you might want to look at this product. This really makes a lot of sense. I've been using it for about, I don't know, 8 or 9 months. I love it. Yes, it's a little bit more money than Meguiar's, but sometimes money really isn't, it's always relevant, but sometimes if you pay a little extra but you get more value for the buck, this is where this stuff shines. So I'll show you this in action if you can kind of get an appreciation for it. I'm going to put the sprayer on this thing. What's nice about the sprayer, it allows you to have a wide fan mist, or you can stream it, which is kind of nice by just simply turning the spray nozzle in either position. And I'm just going to use very little. I'm just going to spray the panel just like that. That's all I need for that area there, probably even a little bit too much. I'm going to go in here. This stuff smells incredible. It's like cotton candy. I feel like I'm at the circus with my daughter. It's just really incredible. I'm going to go in here and just slightly massage it into the paint. This stuff has already begun to start flashing on me. It will not streak. It is incredibly effective with giving you tremendous shining gloss. Again, I'm mobile. I'm working in direct sunlight. Some of you may be car enthusiasts, don't have a garage. This is a great product. So is Meguiar's, but this stuff just hedges it a little bit. It just makes a lot of sense in my world. This surface is unbelievably slick. I've got a lot of nice gloss and shine on that panel. It doesn't take a lot of product. A little product goes a long way. I'll flip this microfiber over so I'm not cross-contaminating. I'll show you Meguiar's synthetic spray wax in action. I'll just use it on the middle of this hood. Just put a little bit on there. You don't need a lot. And then I'll go in there and just try to tell you the difference between the two. Now this stuff here does flash incredibly well. It does tend to stick around on the panel. Again, I'm being awfully picky here. I'm just trying to compare two amazing products. Which one's better? This is still a little bit streaky. I gotta flip over to a dry side and get in there and kind of remove those streaks. The one thing I notice about Griots is that it flashes quicker. It's a little bit more sunlight friendly. I get a little bit more shining gloss out of it. If smell kind of makes or breaks your world, Griot smells better. Yes, it's a little bit more expensive. But the other issue here is too, is that as professional detailers, we've been using this inside the vehicle. We've been using this on leather. We've been using it on plastic dashboards and vinyl. A nice protection. Doesn't leave any residue behind. It gives us some UV protection as well. Instead of using stuff that's overly greasy like leather conditioners and stuff. Incredibly effective on glass. Where this stuff shines, Griot's Best of Show Detailer, it works exceptional on glass. It can even be used on navigation screens. I put a little bit on my microfiber and lightly go over navigation screens. Incredibly effective with not leaving any streaks on the navigation screen, giving you some nice shining gloss on those screens. No streaks left behind, just really incredibly effective. This stuff as well inside the car. Let's say I was working on a black leather interior. Most of you know, if you've used this product, if you spray it on a microfiber towel and wipe it over a black leather interior, you might get a little bit too much shining gloss. You might find yourself knocking it down quite a bit to be able to remove some of that high shine. You'll want a little bit more of a matte finish. Where I find Griot's Best of Show Detailer, even using it inside the vehicle on glass, plastic, vinyl, leather, this stuff seems to have a little bit better UV protection, and it won't leave black leather really shiny and glossy when you use it. It tends to flash. It tends to leave the protection behind and not get overly glossy or shiny. I just wanted to share that with you. I am in love with Griot's Garage Best of Show Detailer. Yes, they make a spray wax as well, and I do use that. I don't like using that in direct sunlight, but I'll use that on certain colored cars, and I'll get to that in the future on how I make light colored cars like white, brown, cars that are not highly reflective, kind of pop a little bit after a paint sealant. I like Meguiar or Griot spray wax for that. But this stuff here is just incredible the way it works. You really need very little of it on the surface of the panel. You can go in here and do this whole hood. Yes, it looks a little bit streaky when you first apply it, when you're massaging it into the panel, but it will literally, I can stop right now and those streaks will just disappear. I don't find myself buffing as long as I do at Meguiar's. Again, it's not gonna make or break your world, but if you're looking for a little bit of a better product that smells better, gives you more efficiency as a professional, this stuff is incredible. Its water beating is slightly better. I think it lasts longer than a week or so. Meguiar's synthetic spray wax will give you 7 to 10 days of protection depending on the elements that you're driving through. I find with Griot's Garage, that Best of Show Detailer gives me a little bit more water beating, a little bit more shining gloss, easier to apply to the paint. I'm absolutely in love with it. You can stop halfway through your massaging it into the panel and stop, and it will just flash and evaporate and leave no streaks behind. Meguiar's won't do that. You do need to buff it out. It's just a little tweak of the product versus this one, but I wanted to share that with you guys. Griot's Garage Best of Show Detailer. I give it 2 thumbs up. It's staying in my arsenal. I find myself using it more and more than Meguiar's synthetic spray wax. Yes, Meguiar's is a little bit cheaper, but I'll spend extra money for something that gives me more value, makes my life a little bit easier. I'm more efficient going around the car. And typically what I'll do is if I do a paint correction, or even if I'm laying down some paint sealant and I remove that sealant, I'll take this stuff and use it as a final inspection spray. I'll just spray a little bit on the panel, and then what I'll do, because sometimes as even professional detailers, we might miss a little bit of spot where wax or compound we didn't get off the panel, and I'll just lightly go over the panel with this towel and use it as a final inspection. And what will happen is if you forgot to remove a little bit of wax or compound or polish, you'll feel your rag get a little bit, you'll feel some resistance there, and you'll go, oh, I missed a spot. It happens, it's normal. But I'll just go in here, lightly massage it into the panel. I'm not even going to flip my rag. I'm going to use the wet side or the applying side of the microfiber towel. That's what I love about this stuff. I don't even necessarily have to turn my rag over and buff it to completion. It will do it on its own. Excellent product. Wanted to share it with you. Griot's Garage Best of Show Detailer. Now what's great about this stuff, what Griot's is doing, maybe you don't want to buy stuff online or buy it by the gallon. They got a contract with AutoZone. A lot of their pretty good products, this is one of them. This is exceptional. Easy to find in AutoZone. I don't know what they get. I'm sure it's probably a little bit more than you'd probably spend a little bit more with AutoZone versus buying direct from Griot's. You got to figure that out. But this is available to just about any of us that might be in town, you know, whatever town you live in, there's an AutoZone. This is on the shelf. I think it's about, I don't know, $12 to $14. A little goes a long way. Smells amazing. Wanted to pass it on to you. If you're a professional and said, oh crap, I ran out of Meguiar spray wax, or I ran out of this stuff, you can always go to AutoZone and find it. I love that Griots is doing that on a retail level. Griots typically tends to be, for me on a professional level, like their interior cleaners or their all-purpose cleaners. They're not dilutable, so I don't buy a lot of that stuff. It doesn't make sense for me on a business point of view. But on products that I can't dilute anyway, if they give me more value, more efficiency, and I pay a little bit more for it, it makes sense to use Griots products, especially versus Meguiar's in this particular moment. Just wanted to share that with you. Love you all. Hopefully you guys are having a great week, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care. Love one another.